Welcome, Advent family. I'm Troy Malaspino, your financial chairperson, and this is the quarterly congregation chat, coming live from Phoenix Park in Fair Oaks, California, taking advantage of some great fall weather out here today, and making sure that we're maintaining proper social distance with the production crew. Today we'll be covering the financial recap of the last 3 months, and at the end, a preview of the coming quarter. We have a lot to cover with some good graphics to explain it a little bit more in depth, so let's get right to it. First up is income. Revenue was down this quarter from our average. In the chart that you should be seeing now, we compare monthly incomes of the last couple of years. Our current income is in purple at the bottom. As you can see, we started in July with about half as much money as we had 2 years ago during the same period, and a full $10,000 below our monthly average. But by September, income had rebounded significantly, but still remains below our monthly average. Now, how much of the decline was due to increases we saw in our designated giving the last few months? Now, it's really hard to say, but as of today, we continue to implement many of the expenditure reductions that were started last spring, which is a good segue for our next part, expenses. There's actually good news to share here. The impetus to focus on the goal of paying off our mortgage was that it accounted for 50% of our non-employee expenses. And I'm happy to report that as of October, we've made our last mortgage payment. This congregation raised over $47,000 in designated giving for this goal, with additional memoriams and savings used for the final payoff of $90,000 in mortgage principal. And we did that 1 year ahead of schedule. That's incredible. Congratulations to everyone who gave during the project, whether it was in time, service, or designated giving. It really goes a long way toward moving us towards some financial flexibility. Other expenses were down significantly this quarter compared to previous years. Again, the current quarter is in purple on the slide you should be seeing. Reductions included services, leases, salaries, and benevolences. As our regular giving income rises, hopefully this quarter, and interior services return to Advent, we'll be recommending re-implementing those items. You can already see here that expenses rising through September as the church outside services returned. Employees were furloughed last spring and just recently returned to half-time status. Our focus remains on getting these folks back to full-time when services return and when it proves financially feasible. Benevolences were also cut last spring, but we recently began repaying our local and Rwanda benevolences, in part due to other expense cuts, such as our office copier, printer, scanner, which is the last thing I want to bring up in terms of expenses. Last year we leased our copier. Actually, the previous multi-years we leased our copier. But recently we could not get support from our leasing company. So we purchased a manufacturer refurbished unit, which will be installed soon. And we hope that that drops our monthly cost from $700 to $88. Looking toward the near future, we now have some financial flexibility with the mortgage paid, but we still have the unknowns of a holiday season affected by COVID and the impact of our previous substantial designated givings toward the mortgage. The committee will continue to work on responsibly managing Advent's finances as we move from financial flexibility to financial sustainability. Hopefully the worst is behind us. Looking forward also, the Internal Controls Best Practices Committee, which has been in abeyance since the spring, will be reconvening this fall and move forward toward meeting the ELCA guidelines for financial best practices. On behalf of the Finance Committee, we wish you peace, health, and a blessed holiday season. If you have any questions about finances, feel free to ask any member of the Finance Committee or me. I'm available practically every service on Sundays. You can also reference your church directory and contact me via email or my home phone.